Okay, so we are looking at writing the first expression in terms of the second if the terminal point determined by t is given in the given quadrant. So we're looking at cosine being written in terms of sine. So we're going to use our trig identity. And the trig identity we're going to use is sine squared t plus cosine squared t is equal to 1. And I want to solve for cosine in terms of sine, so I'm going to move my sine squared t to the other side. That leaves me with cosine squared t is equal to 1 minus sine squared t. Now once I've gotten to that part and I've got cosine squared t on one side, I actually need it in terms of cosine, not cosine squared. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So that will get me cosine of t is equal to, don't forget the plus or minus, because whenever you introduce the radical, it's going to be plus or minus the square root of 1 minus sine squared t. Now, how do I determine if it's positive or negative? I go back to my quadrant. The quadrant always tells us the sign value, if it's positive or negative, of our trig functions. And we know that with cosine in quadrant 4, that's the x values, are going to be positive. So I know that my cosine of t will be the positive value of the square root of 1 minus sine squared t. And we have now written cosine in terms of sine.